We live in a strange world, and sometimes it's hard to figure out where we're going, what we've been, or what the direction is ahead of us. But I'm going to suggest this morning that there are some priorities that we need to make. Maybe you can figure out a way to say that in a way that will prompt you to do some thinking about it. God of law and of love, dispenser of justice and of mercy. That's our prayer. Judge of our action, and Savior of our lives. Help us to hear your word today. Bless us so that in speaking and in hearing your will may be made known. That which you want us to have and do may be had and done. That's our prayer through Christ our Lord. These texts today deal with sin and temptation, deal with the way we live our lives, but they also deal with grace and faith. The first text tells us the story of how Adam and Eve were tempted and sinned against God in the Garden of Eden. Old familiar story. I'm going to tell you about a friend of mine who came to go across California and Arizona to be at my wedding and preach on that theme. The day I was married. The psalmist shares the happiness, the experience that we have in forgiveness. When we're forgiven and we understand that we've been forgiven. Paul in Romans shares with the church of Rome the free gift that Christ brings, the grace of God in abundance to us. Once again, we focus Paul's sharing the grace of God through the presence of the Spirit, making righteousness even in the midst of our disobedience. He is there. Temptation and sin, grace and faith. These are the motives of our lives that we share as we work together, as we live the here and now in the world. They're the axis around which we do the things that we do in our lives. Temptation, sin, grace, and faith are there. As Christians, we believe sin has power. That comes from evil. And it does things to our lives when we are conscious and convicted of our sin. But we also believe that faith has power. A life-giving power that comes from God. And we receive that. There's an old Scandinavian legend about mighty Thor and how one day he visited the land of the giants. When Thor arrived there, he found that the giants were engaged in various contests of strength. They asked him if he would like to take part in their games, and he agreed to be part of these contests of strength. So they proposed 3 different tests for his strength. First, Thor was asked to drink all the liquid in a large 2-handled bowl, drinking bowl. And he drank, but as much as he drank, he couldn't drink more than a tiny portion of the liquid, and it didn't disappear. Finally, he had to put the bowl down and admit that he was powerless to drink that bowl of water. The giant seemed sympathetic. They proposed something a little bit easier, perhaps, for his second test. A black cat was walking by, and he was instructed to lift up the black cat. He grabbed hold of the animal, thinking it would be an easy task just to hoist it up. The cat's easy to pick up for a man. But strain, and he couldn't get it to leave the ground. It wouldn't lift up. He couldn't begin to budge it. By that time, the giants were beginning to be openly amused at Thor's predicament. He couldn't drink the water, he couldn't pick up the cat. You're supposed to be strong, they said to him, but it seems that you're not. Well, we'll give you something even easier for your third test. And so the third test, the giants challenged Thor to wrestle an old woman, throw her to the ground. With pushing and pulling and twisting in every way that he could, he couldn't manage to take her to the ground. He couldn't meet the challenge. As Thor, humbled and dejected, left the giants to head back home, one of them went with him for part of the way and told him that there was magic in the contest. The cup, he said, contains a seed. And who can drink the whole seed? The cat represented evil in the world. Who could handle all of the evil in the world? Who's able to lift that up and take it away? And the old woman, they told him, it was time. Who was able to contend with her? You may listen to CNN or NBC or Fox News. If you've been listening this week, you've heard a lot. You've heard about the coronavirus. You've heard about the presidential elections. You've heard about the different sides of political issues. It's all there. The testimonies that we've heard. If you had a hard time finding the positives in life, share a little bit with you. Come in. Welcome.
Absolutely.
Come in. Glad you're here.
Thank you.
Fine. Great. I want to share with you. I went to the same seminary that my friend Mark went to. And I don't know if I had in the day that you came a little after me, but I had a car in seminary. It was a joy to have a car, to be able to get around New York and see different things. Long Island, get out into Jersey, drive up to Massachusetts and see my friends in Boston.
You were the only one. We didn't have any place to park cars.
Well, you could park a car on the street.
Yeah, then you have to move it.
But every other day you had to move it. Well, that was a joy. I'd go out at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and start up my car and move it to the other side of the street so they could clean that side. Well, every other day you had to move your car. That was still going on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I had an old Plymouth, but next to me was a fairly new Cadillac. And the fellow that I met there, Harville Hendricks. You may recognize that name. I don't know if he and his brother were president of Barnard and Union Seminary at some time.
Yeah.
Harville came to my wedding. We drove across California and I'll bring to Arizona. It was a great thing to have him there. The pain during the week, though, to have to go out and move your car. So we got to visit a little bit as we did that. Kind of talked a bit, had some fun. Good opportunity to share with somebody. I was reading the other day, again reminded, thinking about what's focus of our thoughts today. Harville and his wife Helen Hunt became prominent marriage counselors, and they developed a concept in marriage counseling called imagotherapy. And focus of that was to let some of the chaff settle and keep your mind clear and focused on the positive. That little bit of brain that we share with animals don't seem to remember the negatives. Focus on the positive. It's a part of your being. It's a part of who you are. See the positive. Let the positive come up and the negative fall away. Jesus said, one does not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God. Let the positive feed you day to day, moment by moment, experience by experience. Let the negatives drop away. Turn the TV off. let that fall away. Focus on the positive. Earl had a way of calling that the lizard brain, that small part of animal brain that's always positive. Always positive. During the course of building houses in Mexico, we've had some fun trying to do different things. I woke up this morning dreaming about trying to rewire a house. Try to wire a house. It's interesting when you try to connect electricity, distribute it throughout a house. You come to that point where you get it all tied together and you turn the switch and something's there that's positive is going to happen. In this particular house, you turned the switch, nothing happened. Oh yeah, something happened. The lights in the neighborhood went out. One focus, one piece of wire is touching a ground in our box. And when we turned on our box, it blew the transformer for the whole community. Jesus talks about focusing on God. Resisting temptation, knowing that the political answers, the world in which we live, man's starvation, being fed, the direction we take with our lives, we need to be connected. That's the message that we're sharing this morning. We need to hear God speaking through these things, guiding the positive of our life, giving us power and strength to live each day, day to day. One does not live by bread alone, he said, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God. Let those positives be your guide. Amen.
Amen.